Good evening and welcome to everyone that is attending this evening. This is the Bismarck Planning and Zoning Commission. And it is December 17th and it is 5 p.m. And with that, I will call the commission to order. Sarah, would you please call roll?
Commissioner Bittner?
Here.
Oh, hi. Commissioner Field? Commissioner Johnson?
Here.
Commissioner Larson? Commissioner Schell?
Here.
Commissioner Schmitz? Commissioner Sivak?
Here.
Commissioner Wangen?
Here.
Commissioner Zent?
Here.
And Chair Schwartz.
Here. Thank you. With that, we'll move on to the first item in our agenda this evening, which is approval of the minutes of our previous November 19 minutes. So with that, Commissioners, what are your wishes?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve from Commissioner Zent.
Second.
We have a second from Commissioner Wagen. Any discussion? Not seeing or hearing any. Sarah, please call roll.
Commissioner Wangen?
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Schell?
Yes.
Commissioner Sivak?
Yes.
Commissioner Bittner?
Yes.
Commissioner Zent?
Yes.
Chair Schwartz.
Yes, the motion is approved. With that, we move on to the public comment portion of our meeting. And just to remind everybody, this is limited to items that are on this meeting's consent agenda or the previous Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. So with that, I will open up the public comment period. Is there anyone that cares to step up and address an item at the podium? I'll make a second call. And a third and final call. With that, I'm going to close the public comment period and we'll move on to our consent agenda this evening. With that, there are two items on our consent agenda. The first being Cottonwood Parkview Addition First Replat, Block 1, Lots 2 through 9, and it's a request for a zoning map amendment. And the second item being Edgewood Village 7th Edition, First Replat, Block 1, Lots 1 through 50. And this is a request for a zoning map amendment. And public staff recommendation for both is to call for public hearings. Commissioners, what are your wishes?
Move to approve.
We have a motion from Commissioner Wagen to approve.
Second.
A second from Commissioner Johnson. Any discussion? Not seeing or hearing any. Sarah, would you please call roll?
Commissioner Sivak?
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Wangen?
Yes.
Commissioner Schell?
Yes.
Commissioner Bittner?
Yes.
Commissioner Zent?
Yes.
Chair Schwartz.
Yes, the motion is approved. With that, we'll move on to our regular agenda this evening. And the first item is Meadow Village Addition First Replat. And I believe Jenny is going to provide us with staff report.
Thank you. Good evening, Chairman Schwartz, Commissioners. Dakota Pioneer Land Company, LLC is requesting approval of a major planned unit development amendment for lots 1 through 32, Block 1, and lots 1 through 39, Block 2, Meadow Village Addition First Replat. This request is located in South Bismarck, east of South Washington Street, in the northwest quadrant of the intersection of East Burley Avenue and Boston Drive, along the north and south sides of Freiburg Lane. It consists of 11.37 acres. The proposed amendment would reduce the front yard setback for lots adjacent to public roadways from 25 feet to 15 feet. You'll see on your screen there Dana Drive and Dana Place. Those are private roadways. Existing requirements or existing PUD requirements are 15 feet from those roadways. So the 25-foot to 15-foot setback reduction would be for those lots adjacent to Freiburg Lane. Adjacent uses include developing single and two-family uses to the north, single-family uses to the west, and developing multifamily uses to the south, and a park to the east. Planning and Zoning Commission, you guys considered this and called for a public hearing at your meeting last month on November 19th. The public has been notified of this request. A notice was published in the Tribune on December 5th and 12th, and 65 postcards were mailed to the owners of nearby properties on December 5th. Additionally, a physical sign providing information on the public hearing was placed at a publicly accessible spot at the location on December 2nd. To my knowledge, we have not received any inquiries regarding this request. The request was evaluated according to the standards contained within our comprehensive plan, code of ordinances, and state law. And as a result of all the findings contained in the staff report, staff find that the proposed planned unit development amendment would not adversely impact the public health, safety, and general welfare, and is consistent with the comp plan, code of ordinances, and state law. Therefore, staff recommends approval of the major planned unit development amendment for lots 1 through 32, Block 1, lots 1 through 39, Block 2, Meadow Village Addition First Replat. Do you have questions?
Commissioners, questions for Jenny? Jenny, I'm not seeing or hearing any. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is a public hearing, so with that, I will open up the public hearing for this agenda item. Is either the requester or a representative here to speak to it?
Evening, Commissioners. Arthur Goldhammer with Dakota Pioneer Land Company. Thank you for having me and entertaining this. This is mainly a cleanup from our original PUD for not stating some of the things as clear as we should have. So we're just cleaning up that side yard setback that Bismarck treats as a front yard setback according to Land Development Code. With that said, we're not changing any building types, any products, or adding or taking away any lots. We're not changing any densities. Again, just cleaning up before we start construction on the project for the vertical side. Do you have any questions of me or our group that I could answer?
Questions? Commissioners, questions for Arthur? I'm not seeing or hearing any. Thank you.
Thank you.
With that, the podium is open for others that would care to address this agenda item. And I'm not seeing or hearing anyone. So with that, I'm going to close the public hearing. Jenny, any additional comments?
No, thank you.
All right, thank you. With that, Commissioners, this is a request for a planned unit development amendment. Staff's recommendation is approval. What are your wishes?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve from Commissioner Wagon,
Second.
second from Commissioner Johnson. Any additional discussion? I'm not seeing or hearing any. Sarah, would you please call roll?
Commissioner Johnson,
Yes.
Commissioner Shell,
Yes.
Commissioner Seevaug,
Yes.
Commissioner Wangen,
Yes.
Commissioner Zent,
Yes.
Commissioner Bittner,
Yes.
and Chair Schwartz.
Yes, the motion is approved. With that, we'll move on to item B on our regular agenda, which is Secluded Acres Fourth Subdivision, and it is a request for a minor subdivision final plat. And once again, Jenny will be providing us with staff briefing.
Thank you, Chairman Schwartz. Commissioners, Bighorn Properties LLC is requesting approval of a minor subdivision final plat titled Secluded Acres Fourth Subdivision. This request is located southwest of Bismarck, west of South Washington Street, between West Burley Avenue and 48th Avenue Southwest, along the west side of Thornburg Drive. It consists of 5.05 acres with 3 lots in one block. You tentatively approved, you did not, that's left over from the last meeting. This is the first time you're seeing it, so we'll move along. The proposed plat is a replat of Lot 1, Block 1 of Secluded Acres 3rd Edition, which is included in the Rural Residential Zoning District. The applicant is proposing to create 3 lots. One of those lots includes an existing single-family dwelling and accessory buildings, which will remain, and the other 2 lots would be available for rural residential development. Adjacent land uses include urban and rural residential to the north and rural residential to the west, south, and east across Thornburg Drive. The project is located in Lincoln Township. However, Lincoln Township is not organized, therefore no communications with the township have occurred. The public has been notified of this request. A notice was published in the Tribune on December 5th and 12th, and 45 postcards were mailed to the owners of nearby properties on December 5th. Additionally, a physical sign providing information regarding the public hearing was placed on the property on December 2nd. We have received 1 phone call inquiry, neither for or against, just wondering what was going on, and you did receive a couple of written comments prior to tonight's meeting. The request was evaluated according to the standards contained within a comprehensive plan, code of ordinances, and state law, and as a result of all the findings contained in your staff report, staff find that the proposed minor subdivision would not adversely impact impact public health, safety, and general welfare and is consistent with our comp plan, code of ordinances, and state law. Staff recommends approval of the minor subdivision final plat titled Secluded Acres 4th Subdivision. Do you have questions?
Commissioners, questions for Jenny? Commissioner Shell?
Jenny, two questions. One being with the existing single-family residence that's there, are there any septic systems or drain fields that are on some of the new parcels, or all that contained within its lot?
Commissioner Shell, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, it's my understanding that the property would meet our standard requirements for setback distance and separation of accessory buildings and drain fields and septic tanks.
Okay, and then second question, there's a 60-foot access easement on the front side of lots 2 and 3. Can you maybe just walk through how it's envisioned the access would be onto Thornburg Drive, and what coordination might have been with the county highway department on that access?
Sure. County Highway Department is a reviewer in all of our plats that are located within the ETA, so they have had a chance to review this. It's my understanding, and showed on your plat, that there will be one access point to serve both lots 2 and 3. They will access the properties from Thornburg Drive and use the access easement. I do believe, and the applicant is here and they can correct me if I'm wrong, that lot 1 will be accessed directly from the public roadway.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Shell. Commissioners, additional questions for Jenny? I'm not seeing or hearing any, Jenny. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is a request for a public hearing, so with that, I will open the public hearing and ask that either the requester or a representative come to the podium. And if you please put your name on the log and introduce yourself, that would be wonderful.
My name is Cody Strothman. My husband and I own rental properties under the name of Bighorn Properties, and we recently purchased this. And the home that's on what would be Lot 2 includes 2 additional buildings with it, which fit nicely in the 2 acres that we've got there. We would be keeping that property as a rental property, and then lots 1 and 3, we would either sell or develop ourselves into rural residential family homes. Have any questions for me?
All right, commissioners, questions for Cody? Commissioner Zan.
Cody, what's the acreage of the lot 1 and 2?
Lot 1 would be 1.5 acres. Lot 2 is 2 acres.
Okay.
Lot 3 is 1.5.
Thank you, Commissioner Zan. Commissioners, additional questions for Cody? I'm not seeing or hearing any, Cody. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
With that, the podium is open for others that would care to address this agenda item. And I'm not seeing or hearing anybody stepping up, so with that, I'm going to close the public hearing. Additional comments, Jenny?
No, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you. With that, Commissioners, this is a request for a minor subdivision final plat, and staff's recommendation is to approve. What are your wishes?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve from Commissioner Zent.
Second.
Second from Commissioner Sivak. Any additional discussion? And I'm not seeing or hearing.
That's one.
Commissioner Johnson.
This is, we got 2 letters on this, is that right? And could you just give a little info or background on what you look at for minimum lot size? It's just our rural residential limitations, or do you consider context, or how do you consider context and whether or not to recommend approval on something like this?
Thank you, Commissioner Johnson. The property is currently zoned rural residential, and zoning kind of dictates how large a lot can be. For the rural residential zoning district, the minimum lot size is 1.5 acres, or roughly 65,000 square feet. So because the property is currently zoned rural residential, staff felt that by meeting that requirement, we were able to recommend approval to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Johnson. Any additional comments, Commissioners? I'm not seeing or hearing any, so with that, Sarah, would you please call roll?
Commissioner Wangen,
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson,
Yes.
Commissioner Bittner,
Yes.
Commissioner Shell,
Yes.
Commissioner Seavuck,
Yes.
Commissioner Zent,
Yes.
Chair Schwartz.
Yes, the motion is approved. With that, we'll move on to item C in our regular agenda, which is Promontory Point. That's fourth edition, I believe. Parts blocks 2, 11, and 12. Lauren, is that true? Is that 6 or 4? I don't remember my Roman numerals.
Chair Schwartz, that is 6.
6, thank you.
So, good evening, Chairman Schwartz and Commissioners. Walkthrough Development, Inc. requests approval of an annexation of lots 2 through 11, Block 2, lots 4 through 14, Block 11, and lots 1 through 6, Block 12, Promontory Point, 6th Edition, and the adjoining rights-of-way of McClintock Drive, Morealis Drive, and Monrio Drive. The project area contains approximately 10.91 acres, more or less, and is located in northwest Bismarck, north of Interstate 94, north of the intersection of Claremont Road and Valley Drive. This request is to facilitate future single-family development on these lots. This area is currently surrounded by R5 zone developing single-family lots, and it has been identified as urban neighborhood in the future land use plan, which are places for quiet enjoyment of home life. Annexations do not have a public hearing before the Planning and Zoning Commission. The public will be notified of this request before it's heard with the City Commission, as well as Burleigh County and Hay Creek Township in accordance with the provisions of Section 40-51.2-05 of the North Dakota Century Code. To my knowledge, staff has not received any comments at this point in time regarding this request. The request was evaluated according to standards contained in the Comprehensive Plan, Code of Ordinances, and state law. The proposed annexation incorporates land that is within the urban service area boundary and has been designated as urban service area priority. It's clearly contiguous with the existing corporate boundaries, with 100% of the proposed annexation's perimeter adjoining. I will also note that the creation of any new lots in the city of Bismarck is subject to development capital charges for municipal utilities, which are currently due at the later of 3 points. Platting and annexation, establishing a water and sewer escrow, or receipt of a street petition. However, there's current discussions that are happening which may affect that. Just wanted to make the Planning and Zoning Commission aware of that. As a result of findings contained in the staff report, City of Bismarck staff find that the proposed annexation would not adversely impact the public health, safety, and general welfare, and is consistent with the Comprehensive Plan, Code of Ordinances, and state law. As such, staff recommends approval of an annexation of lots 2 through 11, Block 2, lots 4 through 14, Block 11, and lots 1 through 6, Block 12, Promontory Point, 6th Edition, in the adjoining rights-of-way of McClintock Drive, Morealis Drive, and Monrio Drive. Do you have any questions?
Commissioners, questions for Lauren? Commissioner Shell.
Maybe I'll just elaborate on what Lauren alluded to on the utility capital charge component. The staff report reads our normal policy, but at the commission meeting, city commission meeting of yesterday, the commission adopted a new policy that would move out the timing of when that UCC or that utility capital charge would be received by the city. Our current process is to do that during the time of developing the roads, the infrastructure around it, et cetera. The new policy would have that be due at the time a building permit is issued. So in this instance, the annexation would not trigger it, nor would the street petition trigger it, nor would a water sewer contract petition trigger it. It would be triggered when they want to build a house on one of the lots that are subject to here. So just want to clarify that. And in future staff reports, we probably just won't have that language included moving forward. But this was one of those, at the time the staff report was written, it was appropriate, but as of yesterday is now outdated information. So just as an FYI.
Thanks for the clarification, Commissioner Shell. Commissioners, additional questions for Lauren? I'm not seeing or hearing any, Lauren. Thank you. Commissioners, this is a annexation request, and it is final consideration. Staff's recommendation is to approve. What are your wishes?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve from Commissioner Wagon.
Second.
Second from Commissioner Seavuck. Additional discussion, Commissioners? And and I'm not seeing or hearing any. So with that, Sarah, would you please call roll?
Commissioner Johnson,
Yes.
Commissioner Wangen,
Yes.
Commissioner Bittner,
Yes.
Commissioner Seavuck,
Yes.
Commissioner Shell,
Yes.
Commissioner Zent,
Yes.
and Chair Schwartz.
Yes, the motion is approved. With that, we move on to item D in our regular agenda, which is Walker's 17th edition, Block 2, Lot 1. It's a request for a special use permit, and Lauren is going to provide us with staff report.
Good evening, Chairman Schwartz and Commissioners. I just provided an updated exhibit related to this request, which does change the staff recommendation based on this. Fat Brothers Bakery, Inc., with consent from the current property owner, AFSC Properties LLP, is requesting approval of a special use permit for a drive-through in conjunction with a restaurant on Lot 1, Block 2, Walker's 17th edition. The project area, as you can see on your screen here, is located in south central Bismarck, east of University Drive, in the southeast quadrant of the intersection of South 11th Street and East Bismarck Expressway. The property is zoned MA Industrial. A drive-through is permitted as a special use in the zoning district with approval by the Planning and Zoning Commission. The property has been identified as community mixed use in the future land use plan. The project is currently surrounded by a mix of commercial uses, including retail stores and restaurants, as well as some residential uses. Staff have noted that this site is currently non-conforming for landscaping requirements. Perimeter parking lot landscaping will be required along East Bismarck Expressway and South 11th Street. Street trees may also be required depending on the width of the boulevards. I would like to make you aware, related to the item you have in front of you, that during staff review, staff did request a survey of the site to confirm if the area on the east side of the north building would meet ordinance requirements for the special use. Staff received the survey exhibit on Monday, which indicates that it would not meet requirement 3 for the special use permit. Staff let the applicant know about this issue on Monday, and the applicant indicated that they would work to revise the layout of the drive-through to meet the requirements. However, staff has not received a revised exhibit showing how the requirements of the ordinance would be met. In order to give the applicant time to make those changes and provide staff with enough time to review and check that those requirements are met, staff would recommend that this item be continued to the next meeting of the commission. A notice was published in the Bismarck Tribune on December 5th and 12th for this public hearing, and 11 postcards were mailed to the owners of nearby properties on December 5th. A physical sign providing information on the public hearing was also placed at the project location on December 2nd. To my knowledge, staff has not received any public comments regarding this request at this time. The request was evaluated according to standards contained within the Comprehensive Plan, Code of Ordinances, and state law. As noted earlier, the new site exhibit that was submitted affects the building or affects the findings within the staff report, specifically number 3, which requires that adequate off-street parking shall be provided in conformance with section 14-03-10 of this ordinance. In addition, vehicle stacking spaces shall be provided on the premise in accordance with section 14-03-10 of this ordinance. Requirements for stacking spaces, as noted in the ordinance, note that each required vehicle stacking space be of an area at least 10 feet wide and 20 feet in length. Additionally, vehicle stacking spaces shall be located completely upon the parcel of land that includes the structure they are intended to serve. The space between the north building and the property line on the east side is less than that 10 feet and would not, according to the surveyed site exhibit in front of you, accommodate the minimum width of the stacking space and lane required by ordinance. As this new information would affect the findings contained in the staff report, staff recommends continuation of the special use permit for a drive-through in conjunction with a restaurant on Lot 1, Block 2, Walker's 17th edition. Do you have any questions?
Commissioners, questions for Lauren? Lauren, thank you for the additional picture on this. I stopped down there and I looked at the space and it was extremely tight, and I was trying to figure out where the property line was with the rocks that are spaced along there. And this picture actually makes more sense. Commissioners, any additional questions for Lauren? Commissioner Shell.
Maybe, Lauren, can you speak to what the potential remedies are if they have 9.3 feet to work with, and the ordinance says 10 feet is what you need for a stacking distance? What are the things that you'd be contemplating over the next period of time here?
If the commission would grant the continuance, one thing to look at would be potentially looking at reconfiguring where that drive lane would be coming in on and where that drive-through would be. So rather on the east side of the building, potentially looking at a different side of the building where it could be located.
Thank you, Commissioner Shell. Commissioners, any additional questions for Lauren? I'm not seeing or hearing any, Lauren. Thank you.
Thank you.
With that, this is a public hearing. I will open up the public hearing. Is the requester or a representative here to speak to it?
I am. My name is Kevin Kavanaugh. Hello, Commissioners. So yes, we're looking at this lot, and we found out Monday that there was a concern there because it's 9.3 instead of the 10 that's required, which is kind of interesting because a parking space is only required to be 9 foot, 9 by 18 instead of 10 by 20. So, but with that, we were able to secure this afternoon with the short notice an easement from the neighbor for an extra foot, which is all paved and everything, so we'll be able to facilitate the full 10 foot on that side of the building. So that's what we're asking. And since time is of the essence, we'd appreciate an approval at this meeting so we can move forward with construction and whatnot. So, and I can show you that easement if you'd like to look at that. But time was of the essence, so I barely got it signed this afternoon, so.
Commissioners, questions for Kevin?
I will note on the rocks too, the rocks will be moved because obviously that's going to be an issue there because it is tight with the rocks there. So, yep.
There's some big obstacles.
Yep.
Okay. All right, I guess there's no questions for you, Kevin. Thank you.
Okay.
With that, the podium is open for others that would care to address this agenda item. And I'm not seeing or hearing any. So with that, I will close the public hearing. Lauren, I would ask you for additional comments.
Chairman Schwartz, just to reiterate that the vehicle stacking lanes need to be located completely upon the parcel of land. Based on how the ordinance is written here, I don't believe the easement, if it's not included within the parcel of land, would meet that requirement.
Okay, thank you.
Can I comment again?
Certainly.
We have an easement to give us that extra couple of inches there. And so it's already been used for years that way. That has been used by this part of the thing. So, I mean, and we only need 10 spaces, not 12, since we offer drinks and not a regular restaurant menu. So I think we more than met the actual requirements here.
Okay, well, I appreciate your
Okay.
thoughts. I'm assuming, Lauren, that staff would like to see the easement and assess things further. Daniel?
Yeah, perhaps I could jump in too. Yeah,
Thank you.
as Lauren mentioned, the way the ordinance is written, the stacking must be entirely on the parcel, the legal by right ownership of that parcel. So the easement, and we're reacting to this right on the spot. Basically, we just found out about it very recently. But the way it's written today, the remedy in this case, another potential remedy would be a lot line adjustment. And so if the owner to the north were amenable to that, those parcel boundaries can be changed through a lot line adjustment of a foot, and that would also remedy this and meet the ordinance requirements exactly. But we're just discussing this right now, and I think having another month will help us work through some possible options.
Gentlemen, I'm trying to conduct business here, and another month is a lot of payments I have to make on loans and stuff to get this building up and running. I don't have another month to wait. And if we want to be technical with the issue, it doesn't say that the stacking has to be next to the building. I have 10 full-size stacking lanes well before the building. If you want to put the picture back up. I have 12 stacking lanes long before you actually get to the building. And I have 12 counting the 2 by the building. So I have 10 full-size stacking lanes before you ever get there, which are fully on the parcel and would meet the requirements of the ordinance. And time is of the essence here, gentlemen. I'm trying to conduct business here, and I can't wait another 30 days because I believe I still have to wait till it goes to the city commission. Is that correct? And when
I
is
believe
their
that is
and
true,
when is
yes.
their
No.
next meeting?
Isn't that true?
So for special use permits, this is the end of the line. So
Okay.
the planning
Thank
commission
you.
gives their
So I
final
could
approval.
start, but I need to get going on construction. I've already sat on this for a month, so it's time to go.
I appreciate your thoughts, Kevin, but
Okay.
without getting, having staff look at it and giving us a recommendation, I think it's going to be pretty difficult for us to make a decision on this.
Okay, what do you need to know?
Daniel?
Well, I think there'd be two options. One would be to reconfigure this exhibit to show the stacking in a location that would not require under 10 foot of a drive lane. And then the other option would be to adjust the lot line to the north to accommodate that on the north side. So those are two.
I think
There
your
may be
directions
more.
are incorrect. North is towards the expressway, which is where the shrubs are.
Sorry,
You're actually talking the east then?
east side, sorry.
That would cost money to move the lot lines, and I can't do that tonight. So what was your other option then?
It would be to reconfigure the lane itself such that perhaps it could be on the east side. And we don't want to design the site for you, but in a way that would not be encroaching within that 10
It
foot.
will fit on the east side, but it's not conducive to business. I mean, because I would cut off my parking lot. And so that's where we want it in there. I've gained the easement there. I have 10 full-size stacking lanes in my parcel lane. I think you guys are trying to split hairs here, and I don't have time to wait another month.
Commissioner, Chair Schwartz.
Yes, Commissioner Shell.
Maybe I'd add too, I mean, this change or the change in use would also trigger a site plan review through staff that would administratively look at that to conform that what you're showing here as the trees or landscaping, parking, et cetera, meets that. I will still have issues as the city engineer looking at the routing of traffic through that site and the site circulation adjacent to those buildings. And so I would want to review that easement. I would not feel comfortable approving that here. I would want to make sure that we have, as this board, definitely the opportunity to review what that easement says. You say that there's an easement. We haven't seen that easement here.
I'll bring it to you.
We don't want to review the easement here. We will need time to look at those items, and those items would need to be vetted. And that's where I would feel comfortable. So I would not support an approval of this and making sausage at the table. I would gladly support a continuation to give us time to evaluate what you provided. If there's other scenarios or other solutions that we can come up with that get you what you want that still meets the ordinance or the spirit of the ordinance, I think that's worthwhile to explore. But coming in here and demanding that this action has taken place now, it kind of puts me in a bad position to try to approve.
I was told on Monday, so I don't know what the expectations were, that it would be any faster than this. And I did submit a site plan, so I don't know how you wouldn't have had time to review it for trees and whatnot. What else would you need to know?
So, Chair and Commissioners, we will still have a site plan approval process that goes through this. This is just looking at the special use permit, but the use of the building or the change of the building will still require a site plan. And that's what we have discussed with you when you had our pre-application meeting. And so that expectation is still
Okay.
there. That process hasn't taken place, but I still would have reservations of approving a site plan that shows a 9.3-foot distance between the property line, that shows some rocks in the area. We'd want to see the improvements that you're envisioning, that you're saying are going to happen. We'd want to see that detailed in an exhibit so that we all can all feel comfortable that you're not creating a hazard or a trap for that traveling public.
This is on my property. I guess I don't understand what you're saying here is very confusing. So if it has to be approved later on, they could approve the special use today, and then the site plan will be approved later on. Is that what you're saying?
Commissioners, Chair, that there will be 2 steps to this process, at least, plus whatever building permits you would need to reuse this building and to change its use, to allow this food establishment there. You'll have the special use permit that's taking place here tonight. You'll also have an administratively approved site plan through the city staff would look at that for fire access, clearance, utility changes, landscaping, parking, et cetera. And then whatever building alterations that you're doing inside the building, there would be potentially multiple building permits issued
Correct.
for those activities. So I'm
Correct.
just letting you know that that's all the work that is out there still.
Correct.
And from this perspective of the site plan, we would need to see more than what this is. We need to see what that easement entails, and at this point in time, all I've seen is a document that says that it's non-conforming, and that's all that we've had the opportunity to review.
Okay, so the easement is 1 foot to gain us the full 10 feet on that one side.
And that's great. I would love to, I would need time to look at those terms and the agreement, who's it to, what are the grants. Those are all the things that we would review if there's a cross-access agreement between 2 parties.
There isn't. It's just plain and simple.
But that's what I would say.
Yeah.
When we would review that, we would look at the document, we'd better understand what does it mean, is it recorded? Those are the types of things that we would look and review so that we don't approve something that can't be
Okay.
constructed.
So that can be done when you're approving the site plan?
That component could be done and would be done when we're reviewing the site plan.
So we
Yeah.
could still approve the special use permit today?
The special use permit is not conforming as proposed right here. So I think it's going to be difficult to approve that, I guess, from my perspective. So I'm just one of these members of the board here, but I would not feel comfortable approving something that is non-conforming on this piece of paper and you saying that you have an easement in place and that not giving staff enough time to
Okay.
look at what that easement says. Is it even appropriate? Is there even a course that we can use
Can
the
you
easement they
imagine what I
provided?
went through to try to get an easement in a matter of 2 days? Wasn't an easy thing. So to say you don't have time, I think that it's very discourteous of me to discount the last 2 days and the amount of effort I put in to get this easement to bring to you tonight, and then nobody will even bother to look at it and say, okay, that makes sense. So, I apologize that maybe we can't read an easement and what it says on it, because it's fairly simple. Black and white. I have the space and I can do that. Okay, so that's where you can approve the site plan later on and make sure everything's there. My special use permit should be approved tonight.
Well, like I said, it'll be a board decision, but thank you for your comments.
Okay,
Thank you, Commissioner Shell.
guys, it's important that we allow businesses to grow in this town, and it shouldn't be a hindrance for me to wait another 30 days to have to do this.
And Kevin, I appreciate that. And I can't speak for the rest of the board or commission right now, but I can tell you that without that information in hand and having staff take a look at it and give us a green light, I don't really see where we can approve anything like that.
Well, I think it's called common sense. You can look at it and say, gosh, this guy's really doing his best, because I'm not an engineer, which I had to hire an engineer to do all this stuff. I had to get an attorney to go up and write an easement in the middle of the night last night, and then bring it to you guys today to look at and say, gosh, that makes sense, okay? And we go back to it. You still haven't answered my question about having 10 stacking spaces on my parcel. I have that. So I do meet all the requirements of this. You might not like exactly where they're at, but I have 10 stacking spaces, which is what is required in the ordinance. I have 10. So I don't see where I haven't passed the ordinance.
Chair Schwartz?
Yes.
Could I ask staff maybe to clarify the measuring of those 10 spaces? Does that occur starting at the drive-up window, or where does the measuring have to occur in ordinance?
Commissioner Shell, Chair Commissioners, it does start at the pickup window is where we begin measurement for the stacking spaces.
It does not state that in the ordinance.
In the table, it does, yes.
In what table?
Again, I think this is something we need to take offline, Kevin, and get things settled with
Well,
staff.
I'm
and then
afraid
you
you're
can
going to
come
vote this
back.
down, and I don't have time to let you do that. Because I need this done, and I don't have time to sit and wait. And that's where, if I let this thing go, it costs me money, costs me time, which I don't have right now. So to take this offline and wait a month isn't acceptable. I was told Monday that there was an issue with this. I've been hustling my tail off to get things happen. I was told at 4 o'clock on a Friday afternoon that I needed to have a site plan. We hand drew up one and had it to him by Monday. Then I hired, at the cost of $3,500, I hired an engineer to come in and draw up all this stuff for you. Then I'm told Monday that I'm off by a few inches, which I had already measured up myself, and I didn't realize that till the last moment. And then I went through and got an easement last night and today. And now you're going to put me off another month?
Maybe just to
Daniel, is there any type of a solution for this right now?
Well, if I can offer a little clarification on that. So a site plan is submit a requirement for the special use permit, and we receive those when the application comes in, which was about over a month ago. In this case, we did not receive one, and so we worked with the property owner to come up with a solution, and Lauren drew one herself, essentially. However, during the course of the process, we determined it needed more detail, and then when that happened, we received this less than a week ago, and so it was already past the deadline to receive the site plan. So we've been working with the applicant to try to come up with the details we need for the information we need for this, but we do think another month is necessary for this. If I can show the screen, I think I'm sharing my screen here, and this is the ordinance, and it does state, as Lauren mentioned, that a drive-through coffee shop must have 10 spaces, and those start from the pickup window, being measured from the pickup window. It also states up here that vehicle stacking lanes shall be located completely upon the parcel of land that includes the structure they're intended to serve. So our job is really just to make sure this ordinance is met and provide that information to you, and we're trying to use the information we have to do that.
Thank you.
I think I've more than done my part. And gentlemen, I want you to think about your own money at this time and whether you'd be satisfied with this. I think I've been over backwards, and really what is the intent of this ordinance here? The intent is to make sure that there's 10-foot space, that there's plenty of room, that it's not causing problems with the neighbors and anything like that. I'm not going to be in the roadway. I have more than enough room for the cars. I won't be in the roadway. I'm meeting the intent of everything that's met here. I've gotten permission from the neighbor, written permission to use it. What is the whole reason for hassling me on this and costing me extra time and money? Is it really going to change anything at all? And the answer is no. So I'm asking you to just help a business out that's trying to start a business here in this town and make some tax dollars and do what we do. And I understand there's ordinances and there's all these other things. There's no great law being broken here.
Thank you for your thoughts, Kevin.
Can
Appreciate
you guys
it.
look at me for a sec? Okay? Guys, this is a big deal to me. Okay? This is money. It isn't a joke. And it isn't just something that can be put off a month. And I understand there's people here where money is not a big deal to them. Okay? This is a taxpayer who pays lots of taxes in this town asking you for a little help so I can get my business up and running. Okay?
Thank you for your comments, Kevin.
Okay. I expect a yes vote, guys, and I appreciate it.
All right, Commissioners, any additional comments from staff?
And at this time, Chair, thank you.
All right. Thank you. Commissioners, this is a request for a special use permit, and staff recommendation is to continue. What are your wishes?
Can I make a comment?
Certainly, Cole. Commissioner Johnson.
I'm just looking at the ordinance right now. I'm just trying to see where there may or may not be opportunities, but there's shared use agreements between two properties for parking, but there's not one for stacking. So that doesn't really give us an opportunity there. I'm struggling with this because I don't think it's going to be an issue if he really has the agreement of the adjacent property to use that 1 foot, it's not gonna cause issues, but I can understand the concern of not having time to properly look at and scrutinize a agreement. I'm assuming that it's a question, but could a condition be that the easement is found to be agreeable by the city, or is that an inappropriate condition?
Daniel, can you address that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll just say you can condition your approval of anything you'd like. And then and what you could do is you could condition that such as special use permit will not be effective until whatever it is met. Yeah, that would be an option, if you would choose to do that.
Thank you. Commissioners, additional comments?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Commissioner Bittner.
Well, I just went and measured this vehicle that's in my garage. And that thing's not even 8 feet wide. My truck's not even that wide. I'm wondering where the 10-foot, it seems like we're splitting hairs. And I don't necessarily feel that that's fair to the applicant. And I think that if we did an approval contingent on the easement being acceptable, I wouldn't have any problem with that. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Bittner. Commissioners, additional comments? Commissioner Zent, you look like you're thinking hard over there.
Chairman, where is the, I know we started, the starting point was gonna be where the window is, right? So where is the window located on that building? Is it right in dead center, or is it?
Just a little ways over halfway through.
Okay. I think he's got enough space otherwise if it's in the center there.
Okay. Commissioner Seelock, thoughts?
I agree with what Commissioner Bittner said. If you're asking for approval with conditions, if we meets the conditions, then we should approve it.
Commissioner Wagon.
Thank you, Chair. My struggle is the ordinance specifically says that it has to be on the parcel of the land. And even with the easement, that would not be part of the parcel. And it is a city ordinance, which is law. And the law requires for it to be within that parcel for the stacking. And I struggle with that.
Thank you. Commissioner Seelock.
Is there not a reason why we can't move the building over? Or the building's already there, right? Is that, okay. Sorry, I was thinking there was not a building.
No, it's there.
Okay.
Commissioners, additional thoughts? Commissioner Shell.
Chair Schwartz, I would suggest if there is a motion to approve with conditions that some guidance can be given to staff as to what the intent or the spirit is, because if you're given an easement, and to Commissioner Wangan's earlier point, that easement still won't satisfy the ordinance. So you're still going to be a spot that from maybe a staff's perspective, it's rejected because there's not a direction or there's not an intent made known by the board of what it is that you're trying to accomplish. So Commissioner Johnson, if you run a parallel to the shared parking arrangement and then try to treat this in that manner, I think having something along those lines in the motion would be appropriate, or else it might just fall to staff as not really having anything to base an approval on besides the ordinance, which would obviously show that it's not satisfactory, and then the special use permit doesn't get approved because the easement cannot satisfy the ordinance.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Johnson?
Commissioner Shell, are you saying that that seems to make sense to look at it like a shared use agreement, or is that still not? Because that's just parking. Parking space is not really access or stacking.
Sure, Commissioners, Chair Schwartz, Commissioner Johnson, I would think that I would view this similarly if there was two parcels that were using the same drive aisle potentially, and one going this way and one going that way, and they could operate in whatever way they would, but they might not be on their parcel. I mean, there could be some scenario that the word parcel might be intending to say this should be all on yours as the intent, but really the intent is just within the stuff that you have access or control over, whether it's a common use area or an easement granted to you. I think you could get into what was the intent of the word parcel. I think I generally suspect that was meant to be, it's self-contained within their site. Well, if their site grows by a foot, either through easement or through dedication or through moving the lot line, maybe all those are the ways to do it. But operationally, I don't think it's that big of a deal based on what the use of the other building is, that they're not going to be also needing to operate in that same space. My primary concern when this first came through was that the neighbor doesn't like this activity and throws a fence up there on the property line, and you're left with this thing that really can't fit a lot of cars through. That was my primary concern from the get-go.
And that easement would have to endure through any kind of property transfer.
Commissioners, Commissioner Johnson, I'd be curious what the easement says.
Yeah.
Does it preclude the ability to put a fence or some other obstruction on this thing? Does it really get to the intent of kind of moving the line or not? If it's an easement to use it, but the original owner still retains the right to put up an obstruction, then I don't think that easement does fulfill this intent. But if the easement is a fear and clear.
Do easements need to be recorded on plats or any other document?
Commissioners, Commissioner Johnson, we would anticipate that any easements are recorded against the property so that future owners are also aware of that. So if the form of this easement is a non-recordable format, that would be a reason that the staff would say it's a good easement, but it's not recordable, so therefore you need to get a different version of this. So those are all the things that we would look at during that review.
Thank you.
One other question, sorry, but the two properties come to mind downtown that have some type of stacking function that use alleyways. And I don't know how those got approved, or maybe they've just been there long enough that they just do it, but those come to mind as businesses that use something that's not on their property for stacking in a more detrimental way than this does, but those are still there and they're functioning fine. So that's more of just a comment.
Thank you, Commissioner Johnson. Additional thoughts, comments? Commissioners? Sarah, we have a motion on the table, correct?
No.
We do not. Okay. Well, staff recommendation is to continue. What are your wishes?
I'm not sure how to word this, but I'll make a motion to approve with the condition that the easement be reviewed and approved by the city, looking at the opportunity for that easement to provide adequate access that is not at risk of going away and in the spirit of the shared use agreement, of parking agreement.
Second.
We have our first was from Commissioner Johnson. Our second is from Commissioner Bittner. Any additional discussion, commissioners? I'm not seeing or hearing any. Sarah, would you please call roll?
Commissioner Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Shell?
Yes.
Commissioner Sivak?
Yes.
Commissioner Wangen?
Yes.
Commissioner Zent?
Yes.
Commissioner Bittner?
Yes.
And Chair Schwartz.
Yes, the motion is approved. We'll move on to our item number 5, which other business is other business. And I believe Daniel is going to bring us some information for changes to the commission.
Yeah, just a brief update on new members of the commission that will be joining in January. So the City Commission appointed yesterday 3 new members, Kendra Taylor, Connor Swanson, and Al Wangler. So I'll let them introduce themselves next month, but they were appointed. They applied for this round. Kendra Taylor's position will be taking over Daniel Lukens, which is a 2-year term because he had to, of course, he moved out of the jurisdiction and so had to step down. So that's the remainder of that term, but the others will be 2 full terms. The other piece of news that's relevant to the body itself is the agreement for the extraterritorial area was approved by both the county and the city effective March 1st of 2026. And so that does affect the appointments by state law. The representatives of the ETA must live within the jurisdiction of the ETA. And so if there are any members who are not within the ETA, then there may need to be a reappointment. But that's at the Burleigh County Commission's discretion. We're just letting everyone know. So there's a couple months to think that over and be ready for the March 1st deadline for that. I can try to answer any questions you have on that.
Commissioners, any questions for Daniel on that? Not seeing or hearing any, Daniel. Thank you.
Thanks.
With that, then we're down to item number B, which is recognition of service for commissioners. Paul Zent, Amber Larson, and Daniel Lukens. And Paul, you and I have served on a couple different governing bodies before, and I have always appreciated your thoughts and input to the commission. And I think it's pretty safe to speak for everybody else that we've enjoyed having you join us in this. I'm going to read the resolution of appreciation that was put together, and it says, whereas Paul Zent has served as a member of the Bismarck Planning and Zoning Commission for the past 5 years, and whereas during this time he has represented the interests of both urban and rural residents of the city of Bismarck and Burleigh County, and whereas Mr. Zent has given freely of his time, expertise, and many matters considered by the commission. And whereas during his term of office on the Planning and Zoning Commission, Mr. Zent has distinguished himself for fair deliberation and common sense decision making. And whereas Mr. Zent will now leave the Planning and Zoning Commission for a well-deserved rest. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Bismarck Planning and Zoning Commission that Paul Zent be commended for his dedication and his support for plan development of Bismarck, and that the appreciation of the Planning and Zoning Commission be extended to him. Paul, thank you very much.
I guess real quick comment is the reason I'm not staying on is we're in the process of having a house built down in Florida. It's not going to be a permanent home, but it'll be a go-away home during the cold and stuff, I think. But with our 2 dads still needing us because they're in nursing homes and such, we won't be gone for a long time. But I just didn't feel I'd have the dedication and the commitment to attend every meeting like I plan to. So that's the biggest reason. I like the position. I liked working with all of you. I had 31 years with the township and worked good with the city. So, yeah, it's with mixed emotions, that's for sure. So thank you, everyone. And thank you to the staff. I got to say the staff is the best in the state, and I definitely enjoy working with them too. So thank you.
Thanks, Paul. With that, the only other thing I'd like to say is that Amber Larson couldn't be with us this evening, and I think I've already issued a thank you to Daniel Lukens, but I'll do the same there. I think we've all appreciated their input to our commission meetings. They've done a great job, and we're very appreciative, even though they couldn't be here this evening. And I have one other thing I wanted to mention, and it is since we have at least 3 new commissioners coming on, maybe more, that there will probably be a training session planned. I've asked Daniel to reach out, and possibly in March sometime, would that be? We will put together some training for new commissioners and old ones too. So just have it in the back of your mind. So thank you. With that, our next meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission is scheduled for January 28th. I wish you all a very Merry Christmas and wonderful holiday. And with that, I will adjourn the meeting. Thank you.